Assalamu alaikum. Hello everyone. Welcome back to our channel. We are the Muslim Family Adventures. Welcome to our channel. We are a family that discusses anything related to personal development, to growth, spiritual growth, psychological, emotional growth, and anything to become better versions of ourselves as a family, as a unit. And so whatever I discuss here, I like to apply it for my children as well. I discuss it with my family so that we can become better versions of ourselves. And so today's video is a continuation of our How to Make Decision series. Before I get started, I wanted to wish all of our Muslim followers and anyone who's celebrating Ramadan, we wanted to wish you a happy Ramadan. We are so excited. This is a new month and almost a sense of a new year for us as Muslims, because we know that our upcoming year is being prescribed down upon us. If you know that in the last 10 nights, that's when exciting things are happening, where our next year's record and our next year's fate is being written and being revealed and kind of set. And so at that moment, leading up to that point, we are praying and making lots of important du'as and supplications and prayers, where we're asking God for the best for the upcoming year, that will ultimately make our hereafter the most successful and ultimate best. And so it's kind of a month of almost like a new year type resolution month, and almost like a fingers crossed and prayer month, where you are asking God for the best and the ultimate best in this dunya and also in the hereafter. So happy Ramadan to all of you. May all of your du'as are answered this month. May all of your life's happy things and trials and tribulation, all of those things are come out in the best way possible for you guys. So happy Ramadan to my Muslim followers and anyone who practices Ramadan and believes in the spiritual power of Ramadan. I know in other spiritual communities, people think, oh, something special is happening. It definitely is, especially in the Muslim community. And if you're a spiritual person, you'll feel it. There's something definitely special that happens around this time. Muslims forego their egos, they forego their food and drink. I mean, they forego all of these things for a special reason, to ultimately kind of come to a very higher aligned state. And I don't know if this makes sense to you, but basically you're giving up all of your manly desires, and so food and relations and all those things are given up and almost sacrificed, so that you can kind of see what really matters and take away the human baseline lower vibration items away, so that you can come to a higher state, a fasted state. And you're fasting from all of these things, from food, from drink, from ego, from relations, all of those almost basic human needs, but they're also what doesn't differentiate us from animals. So you kind of eliminate that, and so hopefully our spiritual self is in a state of higher consciousness and being able to see things from a different lens and seeing what's really important in our life. This is when we are figuring out what's our priorities in life, and how our hereafter is such an immediate priority, that we don't know how much time we have on this earth. And we know that our ultimate purpose on this earth is to worship God and to worship Him alone, and to basically do as much as we can in this life to build for the hereafter, and to build for the success that we want in the hereafter, because that is the ultimate success. And so as Muslims, we're taking this month seriously. So with lots of reading of Quran, lots of fasting, lots of dhikr. Something we started this week is we started putting Surah Barakah on in our home, and I shared earlier how it's really important to have that in your home to keep protection of shaitan from any negative feelings. And if you haven't seen that video, check it out. It's how to get rid of negative emotions and anxiety. And so Surah Barakah has been playing in our home. So Ramadan is an important time for us. So happy Ramadan. All right, so back to our series, back to our regular program. We are discussing how to make decisions. And so this is video 4 in that series, video 1, and I will link that series below of how to make decisions. Video 1 was to believe in yourself and believe in your decision-making capability and your dream. So all of it is connected. If you have this high sense of self-worth and self-esteem, making decisions is going to be a lot easier for you. It won't be almost flip-floppy. You'll see that you'll feel more content with the decisions that you make if the first step is believing in yourself, believing in your dream, believing in your decision-making capabilities. So put a strong sense of where this decision is coming from, and if it's coming from a place of your heart, coming from a place of your soul, that decision will be a lot easier to make than something that's just based on logic. I'm not saying don't use logic. Definitely use logic, but see if it aligns here first. See if it aligns in the heart first, and then the logic will sometimes match with it, sometimes not. So yes, come from a state of passion and excitement when you're trying to make these large milestone decisions in your life. So that's the first video, and the playlist is listed below if you want to hear more about that. Our second video and the second step to the process of how to make decisions is once you believe in your decision-making capabilities and your dream and your you feel grounded in yourself. The second is dua al-istikhara, and that's when you say, God, this decision, this dream has come into my heart. Now guide me. Like, now that this decision is here, God, you guide me. Now you tell me if this thing is good for me. If it's good for me, bring me near it. If it's not, take me away from it. And take my desire and my feelings away from it too, so that you're not feeling discontent in any way when you're going through this process. And the third thing we did was in this process for how to make decisions was to move mediums. So change it from paper to visualization. Change it from visualization to an actual item in your home. Move the thing around in such a way so you're almost like it's helping to solidify your decision. Now we are on to the fourth step. So the fourth step is also a religious step, because I've explained this whole process of how to make decisions. God is very much a part of this decision-making process, and so this one is to take your decision and your dream again to the prayer mat, but this time it's like almost like repeated over and over and over again at different important times. So as Muslims, we believe there are certain times that are very, very sacred and special. You can pray to God at any time. You can pray to God at any time, and God is always listening. But there are certain times we believe that that are more, I guess, holier times, or we believe that certain things are happening at these times, and this can be the exchange of angels. Like we believe angels, they are always watching us, they're always guarding us, always protecting us, and they're sent from God to protect us, and they're sent from God to watch over us. And so we believe that they are actually taking record of our good actions and our bad actions, because in Islam, accountability is big. And so there's times where angels are switching, where the daytime angels are coming and the nighttime angels are handing off our record to them, and they're leaving. And so when you visualize that, it's actually really beautiful that you have these angels protecting you, and they come in shifts, and they're like, it's my shift is over now. Here's the record. This is what this person did all day. This is how many times they prayed. This is how many times they gave a smile to somebody. This is how many times they did a small act of kindness towards someone. And so the shifting of angels is happening. And so we believe that there's certain times in the day where there's special moments, special times. And so I will share those times, a few of those times right now, where it's really important that if you're making these types of big decisions in your life, the decision of who you want to marry, what career you want, basically all those large milestone decisions in your life that affect the trajectory of your life in this world, and I believe it affects your hereafter as well. Decisions like who you want to marry, for example. Let's take that one. Who you want to marry, if you don't make that right decision of choosing a spouse who you think will align with you spiritually, and who may be at a different spiritual level and you're at a different spiritual level, it'll be like pulling teeth to try to get your children or your family to go pray if one person doesn't pray at all and one person always prays. So it's almost like those decisions are really important. That if everyone's on the same page in terms of spirituality and finances, all those things, it just makes life a lot easier. And so, so if you choose someone who's not spiritually as aligned with you, that type of decision, it's a major decision in your life. It can affect your hereafter. Marrying someone who is spiritually aligned with you, this person will remind you to pray. This person will wake you up for your morning, Fajr prayer, and things like that, which is so helpful for your hereafter. So yes, so making decisions, it's really important to make the right decision. It really is. And so my fourth tip is to take your decision to those special moments in prayer and special moments in the day where God has almost like bonus points and extra points. And so take your decision, and at this point your decision should be kind of already made, and it's switching over to prayer now. It's switching over to dua. And I've talked a lot about dua in my channel, of how important it is to make dua. So now we're taking our large scale decision. We had the dream, we had the initial inspiration, we did dua al-istikhara. We kind of have an idea now. God is guiding us towards what is right and what is wrong, and what we want to stay away from. Now the third thing we said is to move your mediums, and that helps to solidify that. Now we are taking our decision and our dream and our desire to the prayer mat. So we are going to take it to the prayer mat and to holy times. So tahajjud, we know tahajjud is when God comes to the lowest level of heaven, and he says, whoever is awake right now. And tahajjud is that time, the last third of the night right before the sunrise prayer, where God is like, whoever is awake, ask me and I'll give it to you. I should be better. This is for me a reminder for myself too, that I should be better at doing my tahajjud. But specifically for my spouse, I prayed tahajjud for years, to make sure that God just help me marry someone who is, is spiritually aligned, who will take care of me. And that was my main criteria: is someone who will spiritually be on the same page as me and make me a better Muslim. And so that was something that I did when I was younger, and I truly believe that God listened to me, because I miss my Fajr alarms, and so my husband is the one who wakes us all up. And so I truly credit God for for listening to me at those times. Tahajjud, for sure. Tahajjud is that time, again, the last third of the night right before your Fajr. Take your decisions, your du'as, your prayers, I have decided this, God, help me now. So take it to tahajjud prayer. So take it to that time. Other times that are really, really sacred with bonus points, I'd say iftar time, iftar and suhoor time. Specifically iftar time, the time right before iftar. And this is since we're fasting in Ramadan, this is the time right before sunset, where right before you're about to eat and you are super hungry, you're so excited, the food's right in front of you. And that's when you raise your hand, and that's when you say, God, this is what I ultimately desire in my heart, deep inside of my heart, please give it to me. And so that's another time. Another time is after Fajr. So before sunrise, we said, and even after sunrise, and after that morning prayer, So pre-dawn prayer. I keep saying sunrise, it's dawn. So pre-dawn prayer. After that pre-dawn prayer, get your hands up. That's the time where it's like, you are so spiritually connected. If you wake up at Fajr and that's the first thing you do is splash your face with water, do your ablution, and start your prayer, your mind isn't even awake yet. Your heart's awake before your mind's awake. And so when your heart is awake and it's asking, you can almost program your mind to tell your mind that this is what my heart desires. Now, before you wake up, let me tell you that this is where I want to head. And so there is scientific benefits to praying at a certain time, because you are literally telling your heart is telling your brain that this is my vision board, this is my dream, this is what I want. And not only that, you're connecting to the ultimate source at that moment, to ultimate God for that thing. And so you're asking God from your deepest heart after Fajr. That's a great time. Another holy time for us as Muslims is on Friday. On Friday, between Asr and Maghrib, this is when the Friday day is wrapping up, and this is when the holy day, we believe as Muslims, Friday is a holy day, and so that day is wrapping up. And so today's Friday and today's that time. So I would highly recommend that you take your decisions and your dreams to the prayer mat, and specifically to this holy time of Friday evening between Asr and Maghrib. So this is between, like, I'd say, like the third prayer and the fourth prayer. Take your dua there. Make it a time of like close away all busyness. Work has ended. This is, instead of just chilling with the TV, make it a time for, like, let me give half an hour just to myself and to God and spiritual alignment and getting connected with God. And so yes, so the time before Maghrib, between Asr and Maghrib, is an important time where prayers and decisions and fate is being written. And another one is Arafat Day. Arafat Day is during the time of Hajj. It's the 9th day of Dhul Hijjah, and this is a very, very, very important day. We believe as Muslims this is the most holiest of days. The 10 days of Hajj, and specifically the 9th day, the day before Eid, the day before the holiday, is a time for prayer, a time for dua. This is a crucial time to make dua, so that that whatever God is destined for you for the next year and the upcoming year, God, make it good, like make my fate good and forgive my sins from the previous year. Like, you just want a clean slate. And so Arafat date is really, really important. And the last time that I'm going to mention that's really holy and important is the 10 last nights of Ramadan, or the nights of Laylatul Qadr. And we know as Muslims these are really, really holy nights, and if anyone can catch these nights, man, you are set. So and we don't know which, so there's some story behind it. We don't know which night it is. We just know it's one of the nights in the last 10 nights. A lot of people say it's the 27th night. Some scholars say it's not. Some have other opinions. And so it's 10 nights out of the year. Take your decision, whatever milestone decision, whether it's, I want to buy a house, God, help me, guide me to a house, help me guide me to a car, guide me to a spouse, guide me to whatever it is that you are dreaming about, and pray for. This is the time last 10 nights of Ramadan, the nights specifically of Ramadan, and hopefully inshallah you catch Laylatul Qadr and you take your decision and your milestone decision that affects the trajectory of your life in this world and the life in the hereafter. You take it there to these special moments, and I'm going to repeat them. The holy times that we believe as Muslims. Tahajjud, this is the time, the last third of the night. Iftar times, specifically like right before when you're about to break your fast, when you're like super hungry and your mind is saying eat, but your heart, if you can control your mind and your desires of eating and drinking, if you can control that for just a little bit and just kind of push yourself to say, let me take my heart to the place where I can ask God for his guidance and his mercy and his love and his blessings at this time. And the third time was after Fajr. The fourth time was Jummah, Friday specifically, between Asr and Maghrib. And the fifth was Arafat Day. And the sixth is the 10 nights of Laylatul Qadr. So if you can take your decision, and if you can take it to these times, and specifically at this point, your decision should be forming. It should be kind of like molding itself, where you've gone from just a thought to an actual decision of yes or no, or heading towards something or not. So if your decision is molding, like this is kind of like the glue and the jelly to it all. If you can take it to these specific times, your heart will start, it'll start solidifying on that decision. Things will start to feel right if your prayers just start to get answered, and strange things start happening in your life where you're looking for a house and you can't find one, and then all of a sudden something comes on the market and it's meant for you. Things like that. It's just strange things happen. And so it's not strange. We know as Muslims that these are blessings and open doors from God, and unique windows where God is showing us what's destined for us and what's meant for us. And so it's our job as Muslims to ask for it, to take it, and to thank him for it. And we know that God loves a thankful servant. He loves a thankful servant. He says, ask me and I'll give you more. So the trick to, when people, I don't know, I feel like they're like the negativity around asking, or if there's some guilt around asking, we need to throw that out in the trash, because God wants us to ask. God wants us to ask. He says, ask me and I'll give you more. I mean, what better like recipe can I say that you just keep asking? And sometimes we get shy from asking, or like if we were to ask like our parents for something over and over and over again, we kind of get shy. But this is God. This is God, and you don't need to get shy from asking him over and over and over again. So keep asking. At this point, your decision should be molding. So yes, so the fourth tip for this video is take your decision and your dream and your dua specifically to these special moments in time, and let's see what happens. And so that's my advice to you. So take care. Video 5, 6, and 7 are coming up. By now, your decision should have gone from just thought to an actual decision of yes or no. Things should be forming, should be molding at this point. And then you'll see 5th, 6th, and 7th are more just kind of almost after the fact that you've made up your mind and you've made up your decision based on what feels right to you, and also based on what God is inspiring you, and based on what God wants. So if these things all align, if you are pleasing God and if you are pleasing God, you're gonna feel happy too. So things will all match up. So yeah, that's my little tidbit for you guys today. Yes, I know this video is long, but I thought it was exciting. I thought it was important. Wanted to share with you guys. So how to make decisions, stay tuned. Video 5, 6, 7 coming up, and that will wrap up this series of how to make decisions. And I hope it's helpful, something to come back to when you're getting ready to make these large-scale decisions in your life, because it is scary. Sometimes you don't know if you're making the right decision, and sometimes you like to get kind of like assurance, or just double check your work. So this is another way for you to double check your work. And so take care, guys. I hope this series helps you. Happy Ramadan to all of my to everyone. Happy Ramadan to everyone, because even if you're not Muslim, this is it's Ramadan started on April 1st. It'll end around April 30th. It's 2022. It's a holy month, and so there's blessings, rain falling everywhere. We believe that specifically Satan, Shaitan, or is tied up. So the Shaitan is tied up. So there is no negative force right now out there, at least from Satan, that can deter you from your worship, from your blessings, from your anything. So at this moment, it's almost like if you're playing a video game, it's almost like there's no bad guy out to get you right now. So make all the prayers you can, and make all the dua you can right now in this month, and inshallah become true, and we don't have any distractions. And yeah, that's my little tidbit to you guys. So happy Ramadan, everyone, and I'll see you guys soon. I'm heading over to an iftar at my parents' house, so I'm excited to get some egg rolls and pakoras. So take care, guys. Assalamu alaikum. Take care.